welcome to this blue flame energy reading. For those of you who may be new to the channel, a warm welcome to you as well, of course. And maybe you want to check out the information down below the video where you can find the entire background for me doing these readings. So thank you very much to all of you for tuning in, for subscribing to my channel, for liking and sharing. And in general, these are readings that I do based on paranormal encounters that I've had. In particular, one episode was really what got me started on this. And what we are doing here is really that we are moving out in what we can call the divine matrix, the energy that is universal, that is sort of the basis energy for the universe. So when we are moving out into that grid, if you like, we are moving out through our higher self. And I don't know if someone is out there receiving our energies. I think that personally, I believe that from what I feel and what I sense, there is definitely something at the end of the line. How deep it goes, I don't know, but there is definitely something. And also, when I do these readings, I do them because I have found that there are some kind of signs, or I receive some kind of words, or there are some kind of special dreams coming in that is reminding me that it's time to do this now again. Okay, so I believe that we are all antennas to all the energies moving on around us, or whatever is going on, but definitely we all pick up on something. We all have some kind of what we call foresight, a premonition, or we say that I could just sense that something was talking to me, or I sensed a presence around me. That's very individual how we go around that, but I think that we are allowed to take in whatever it is that we feel, or whatever is coming through our soul or psychic abilities, whatever you choose to call it. To me, it's one and the same thing. And it's a reference for me also to our water. That's why I have a glass of water here also, because the water in our body, to me, is where we find our soul, our feelings, intuition, and so on. So we can say that blood is thicker than water, yes, but I find that the wisdom lies in the water. So we are tuning into a bigger grid. We are trying to allow ourselves to go out there to maybe even time travel a little bit, but to get into contact with whomever or whatever may be out there, okay? And I've just picked two cards from these card decks just to illustrate what it is that we're doing. And also I feel very much that we are tuning into this, the flower of life. They're very similar cards, really. So it's that kind of grid that we're trying to go back to basics. We're trying to find the core of it all. So I, of course, also hope that you may find these readings quite healing, or that there is some, okay, we already have a card out here. Okay, we're being stalked. Someone is watching us. Okay, so again, take a deep breath. Make sure that you have your feet solidly planted on the ground, and be very much aware of you being here on planet Earth, okay, and where you are right now, the room you have around you. Maybe have a glass of water next to you, but be very much aware of where you are and be very, very present, okay? So let's just take some deep breaths and come into a more relaxing mode, okay? Also, I very much experienced that there's a lot of humor in this. So it's not supposed to be too tense and too serious. It's just like, I'm hearing, yeah, go with the flow, okay? This is a natural part of life, okay? It's just because it is so alienate for us to tune into these energies, because we can't see it. Some can't see it, of course. But to me, it's not like I can see dead people, or people who crossed over, or whatever we want to call it, or that I have meetings from outer space with someone. It's not like that. But some people do. They do have those experiences. So however, whenever it presents itself to you, try to be open, okay? we very often let ourselves be scared of it and call it all sorts of names, even names of illnesses. So so try to go with it whenever it shows up and however you feel you want to go with it. Of course, it's up to us to allow it into our lives, but I think that, at least that's what I've found out, that when we visualize something where we are tuning into how we see our lives, the development of our lives, the kind of life we wish to live, and we start to speak about it, we start to communicate it out in some way, and we start to take action in that direction. When there is sort of an alignment coming in, I feel that it's much easier to tune in to, fairies, trolls, feeling that the nature is speaking to you, or even these energies, more cosmic energies. Okay, so also if you live a very maybe you live alone, you live a little bit isolated, and you can also live that way, even though you have a lot of people around you, you can still feel a little bit isolated with the wisdom you've got, or with your life experiences and what they've done to you. Okay, so I don't believe that we can stay in our old lives when we have a crisis or a conflict or whatever we want to call it. When we have those deep, serious transformations in our lives, we cannot have a leg here and a leg here, in the past and in the future. We need to align ourselves to just be present and allow ourselves to tune in with whatever new energies are showing up in our lives after we have come through some kind of transformational period. Okay, so let's see what's up here. I want to give a big shout out to Michael Horn, who's been working with a Swiss guy for many years, Bill and Meyer. I have left a link, as always, down below. That's really if you want to go all in the in UFOs, UAPs. I think that it's very much out in the open right now, where the Congress, there's been a hearing in the US, and so we are softening up. I'm situated in Denmark, and we definitely have a lot going in mainstream medias actually about this. So there is an opening to this. There is something about starting to accept that some people have actually had these encounters. So very positive. So check out Michael Horn, theyflyblog.com. Okay, so as always, I would just begin by pulling a card from the same card deck as I've pulled this blue flame card here. But in general, the blue flame is about activation, spontaneous awakening, and integration time. This is the card that came to me after I had a specific episode, okay? And that's why I began to do these readings. So, and of course, go with the cards wherever you feel they lead you. There may be some messages coming in for you. So the first one is that you're not alone. I was just talking about being isolated, right? So we are not alone here. This card is always talking to me about Saturn, because it's like you can see the rings here, and with Saturn it's always about karma, it's about time, it's about responsibility, and doing the work. Okay, get grounded, be serious. So this is talking about embracing your weirdness, face your true north. Okay, and in the astrology we work with the north nodes. For those of you who are interested in astrology, you will know that. And the north node is also the point that is pointing out to our destiny in the future. Where are we going? Okay, so we're not alone. We're not alone. Okay, so I feel that someone is saying yes. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Whatever, something is coming in here. And we may think it's weird what we're doing. Definitely I do. But I also feel that it's very much part of my nature. So, and then we have Star Brothers. So I feel that they are welcoming us. This is Horus energy. And this is talking about protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Okay, so I feel very much that we're just being asked to trust whatever is coming in here for us now. And also that I heard a lot of songs in the radio before I started this reading today, just, all confirmation on moving in this direction. So I feel that they're saying, we are your star brothers, we make you feel safe. Okay, you are safe with us. Oh, I'm sorry, I read this card as you're not alone. Okay, no, it says you're not for everyone. Okay, so please remember that out there. You're not for everyone. We need to embrace our weirdness. Sometimes we think we read one thing and then it really says something else. Okay, so we are not alone. I take that in as well as a message. And we are not for everyone. Okay, we may feel weird. We are beginning to wake up to this. People who have had these encounters, they may feel they are both weird and alone. But it's really because we are starting to accept that we are part of something that is bigger than ourselves, that we are moving out of our egos, okay? So God, or however we want to think about what God is. I'm sorry, my nose is running. Okay, so the energies are moving. Okay, cool. Back to God. To me, God is plasma. To me, God is energy. He is, no, not he, it. It's just energy. Okay, and we consist of plasma. We are electrical beings or electromagnetic beings. So we respond to the elements. Okay, very much so. So let's see what cosmic group or energy who wants to tune in today. And please be aware that this is not necessarily the group that we are tuning in with 100%, but it's a representation of their energies, okay? So maybe for some of you they will show up like that. I have had the Agarthans, Venusians, Arcturians, and Alpha Centaurians. I think that's the group. That have been the group that have presented themselves so far in my reading. So so let's see what's coming out here. But I feel that it's a safe space now for us to start acknowledging this. That this is not hostile energies. Even though we know that out there, we don't know what's out there. There may be good guys and bad guys, or good people or bad people, however we want to see it. But so far I have never had an encounter that made me scared. Not at all. Okay, yeah. And what was interesting about this, these are the grace one, the short ones, also the tall ones. But before I began this reading, and I had some kind of feeling that maybe this card would actually show up. I will just show you the two other cards, but what was significant was the purple color here. And then I had a card pulled from this card deck, and also from this card deck as well, another card, and they were also purple, a reference to the violet flame, and that could be a reference to the Arcturians actually. But so this card is actually coming out to present itself, okay? So again, a confirmation on that when we see things and we can see how things are aligning, and it's time to sit down with this energy, we need to get serious, okay? We need to do it. It's time. Saturn is also about, and Capricorn energy, it's about our life purpose and doing the job, okay? To become wiser. And that's definitely why I'm doing this as well. I want to know. I think that when you've had some kind of trauma, you have experienced some kind of trauma in your life, or something quite transformational, I think it's very difficult to leave that behind. And I also think that is related to why people are becoming more stressed and going down with more diagnoses and illnesses. I know we got that a lot going in Denmark, and yeah, in the world in general, right? People are becoming more stressed. They don't know what it is to see or hear. They're coming out of themselves. where we really should be going home to ourselves. Okay, there is so much out in the world trying to distract us from the core of it all. So the gray ones are coming, the grays are coming in here with a very timid, misunderstood and shy energy. Okay, card number 9, go with the colors and the numbers wherever you feel they are leading you. Number 9 in the numerology, as far as we know, is about endings, so that new beginnings can take place. We have a full moon here, so I wonder if we have, when we have the next full moon in Virgo, maybe that's something about that. But the moon is also pointing to water, and we are in Pisces energies right now, another water sign. So there is something here about being timid, misunderstood or shy. And maybe we feel kind of shy about this. People who've had these encounters, we may not feel that, is it time to step forward? Can I really discuss this with my friends or my family? So there is something here that they want to discuss with us about that. But that we are protected now, that they see us, and that they know that for many of us we are simply just being misunderstood, or we feel that people are crossing our boundaries, that we may not be very good at putting up boundaries, that with the water element we are flowing, and we just want to please and also go with our sensitivity, and that can be a hard thing to do in this society where everything is built on capitalism, right? So let's pull a card from this card deck and see what is being ignited within us right now. Maybe I feel that we're going to have the answer on what is being held back, or what we perhaps have misunderstood, or what other people are misunderstanding about us, or where it is that we feel very shy, something within us. I feel very much there is a link to the word shy. So let's see what's coming out here. What is it that we are shy about? Where is it that we feel people are misunderstanding us? Okay, let's see if there's something else coming out here. Anything else? No. Okay, and I also feel that since this card is pointing to this card over here with the Star Brothers, maybe this could be a link to that as well. The central sun. Okay, Horus energy, Horus, the eye of God. Okay, very, very much back to Egyptian ancient history. Okay, and for those of you who have been in Egypt, you know how weird it is to be around the pyramids. I was there many years ago, and unfortunately too young to understand how to tune in with the energies. I'm pretty sure if I were to go back, I would have a completely different look at it. But just to have been there and sensing the intense energy that is there, just through looking at the stones and how big everything is, that's pretty amazing in itself. So this is talking about the central sun, back to ourselves. This is talking about abundance, downloads, regeneration and success. Okay, so something that we've been shy about, something where we may have felt understood or timid, it's like we're coming back to ourselves. We are going to stand very strong. And as I'm also, of course, reading for the collective here, both nationally and internationally, there is some kind of regeneration. And we are having major downloads right now. So I don't know if something is going on within the sun, but the central sun is like going back to creation. Like if you say that our sun in our solar system is like kind of our God and our, going back to the core of it all. But that sun is, or that star is linked to a great pattern. the matrix with other stars and other suns, and here we are back to the central sun. I feel very much this is back to creation. So back to the core of it all, back to understand how everything originally works. There's a regeneration of those energies, and a lot of success is coming in for us. So there is something deeply within us, as this is also our, to me, it's our ego with everything that we consist of. Okay, all our talents and abilities, and our willpower, and our ability to take action, our ability to communicate, our ability to feel, stuff like that. So all of it, that's really, we have been shy deep within our core about talking about these downloads. What is it that is coming in? What is that we're sensing? Also, how is this? Yeah, we of course have the sun here, plasma, and the moon, water. How is this affecting our water? How is that affecting our emotions? I'm mostly tuned into the astral body, which means that's where we start to pick up emotional impulses from the universe. And that is very much in alignment with these two cards, that we have plasma coming in, light to come in to ignite the water in our bodies. Plasma holds information, wisdom if you like. And initiating our waters means that we are going to have a focus on our feelings, on our remembrance. We are coming back. All of a sudden there is an open door, there is our waters being stirred. I think that's the English word for it. So very interesting. This is really back to the core of it. And also with all the things playing out right now in the world, it's really because we are coming back to ourselves, but we have to go through a whole lot of stuff before we end up to be, you can say, reunited as one humankind here on earth. Okay, so we are starting to have some kind of success here, and I feel that in particular for those who've had extraterrestrial encounters or paranormal encounters, that is somehow a download. Okay, whatever we feel when we see something, we know what we've seen, and we know how we felt after we watched what was going on. We know that that's a download too. That's how physical as it gets. This can be explained and measured. This is not belief. This is fact. This is going on. And this is just as much part of us as sitting here next to a window and sitting at the table. It's just the same. Okay? So since we're in karmic times, we have, communal living. Communal living. I'm sorry if I do not pronounce the English words correctly, okay? Living together. Come together. So that is coming together as a collective here on earth, but also coming to live together as a cosmic unity, okay? And what I really wanted to do with this card deck is because mostly I use it in my readings when we have something karmic going on. So let's see what it is that's going on. Or maybe there are just words, they have some great headlines, these cards, so really just spot on when we ask about what's really going on. So live together, it's about living together. Okay, yes, we have angels. So live together. And to me, as I have understood it, angels are really light, you can say light creatures, if we want to call it that. But that is really where, we have I think it is that we have our physical body has a soul and our light body has a soul. And as far as I've understood it, it's when those two melt together, we become angels. Because that's when we say as above, so below. We start to get into that symmetry, alignment, whatever we want to call it. So we want to come into some kind of common living here, living together with angels. Maybe living with ourselves as being that as well. Start to develop in that direction as well, because we can, if we focus on it. It's a long journey. Maybe it will not happen in this lifetime, because we are incarnating every something. It's between 100 and 400 years, okay? So it will take a lot of time and work. A lot of time and work, but it's time to start doing that, okay? We are here to initiate that, okay? And for many of us, we will not see the end result of that. Well, not from this place anyway. But we need to be, the more focused we are on the energies, we can begin that process, okay? And being focused on how much we're going to experience of that, you know, start to living in the new world and golden age. Yeah, well, maybe we won't see it from this point, from Earth, but maybe we'll be able to follow it from wherever we are leaving when we are crossing over, right? So, the Greys are asking us that what we are shy about is maybe that we feel that we have contact with this light worker energy or light creature energy, and that's what we are supposed now to start to take in, to start living with that, start living with those energies, okay? And I feel like just to pull another card, so let's see what's coming out. Is there anything else? Let's I feel very much that this is speaking to the Sun card over here. Let's hear it from the Moon. How are we to feel this? Or how does this make us feel? There is some, okay. 2 cards out. The first one is, yeah, Celtic. I pulled this in another reading I made for the coffee belt. I only did that in Danish, but I pulled that card as well. And the coffee belt is where we also say that the souls are entering and leaving the world through Capricorn energies and through Cancerian energy. And since we have Saturn here also, and the Celtic, this is very much like that reading I did, where there was a very big focus on souls leaving the world now. We will start to see many souls leaving the world. That's what they do in Capricorn. Capricorn tropic, I think you call it. So something about the Celtic cross here, about the 4 elements, masculinity and the feminine side of life. So there is very much aligned here, coming together, again, communal living, okay? But something about Celtic, and what also came up in my coffee belt reading was, yeah, of course, something about Ireland, but very much that culture, coming back to nature, again, back to the original stuff of it all, how everything is really one. And as I mentioned when starting this reading, also right now we are in Pisces. And Pisces is about oneness. It is about tenderness. It is about unconditional love. It is about going out in other dimensional worlds. It is about losing our ego, actually, and see what is beyond. Okay, and then we have Mother. Okay, so a very feminine energy here. Yeah, that dissolved my tension in my body. Okay, so Celtic and Mother. So maybe there is something here also that we have not understood yet about the Celtic culture or Celtic tradition. I'm also getting a picture of other, what you call it, the places on Earth where we have a concentration on old big stone circles. Thank you. Yeah, stone circles. That they are vibrating. That's also something that came up in my coffee belt reading as well. So something is vibrating here. So this is really bringing up a lot of confirmation on that reading that I did. Something is beginning to vibrate. That is going way back to the womb, to where it all began. Masculine and feminine here. Maybe we have some kind of, at least that's what I've been sensing a lot, that those two are coming together to create something higher than themselves. That we are dissolving good, bad, masculine, feminine, all of that is really coming together, and we start to see that from that we can build something greater. We can build a new truth. So also this feminine energy can be very much, it can be a very shy energy in the water signs and the astrology. So it's a very private energy, and it's going back to Celtic living. And I actually think I also pulled communal living, the communal living card as well in that same coffee belt reading. So something is definitely going on here. Confirmations, okay? So, however this may resonate with you, go with that, okay? Because I feel that for all of us it can be very individual. How we see this, how we sense this, how we feel this. But there's something being ignited in our waters right now that we have until now kept as something private. But it's about seeing the world as one. Celtic living is about nature also. I'm getting minerals, plants, flowers, how that all works together for a better health, for example. Going back to the original living with nature. So that's a very private part of us that we have been like, shh, we've not been talking about this. And for many of us here on Earth, yeah, let's move on with this card deck, because that's showing us something about our personal life and where this could be showing up. Because for some, it could lie in our mother lineage, okay? Could lie in our mother lineage. Something about this, that perhaps we are all coming from this place. We're all coming from this place. We were all born from this place. I don't know what's going on in Ireland, because that was also what came up in my coffee belt reading. It's called the Green Island, isn't it? This card is also green, of course, but anyway. So let's just pull a card to see, yep. Yeah, toil and labor. To me, it's always talking about, you know, doing the job. Again, back to Saturn. So there's a serious energy coming in here. Okay? Something private that we are beginning to open up to. Doing the job. This is hard work. This is hard work. Okay, let's see what else. So it's a hard work working with being misunderstood and being shy about something that is really important, something that is really part of creation. Okay, one card is also making itself shown here. Coffin. We are burying something, and also in the number 9 we have 19 here. 1 plus 9 is also 10. 10 is endings and new beginnings in the numerology, and we had card number 9 over here. So we are burying something, we are releasing something. As I mentioned before, we in Pisces energy, that is also unconditional forgiveness. That is lifting off burdens of having had to keep something hidden as well. Now things are coming out in the open. Something that may have made us feel small because no one really accepted our stories or our encounters, a part of our nature that has been not accepted. Something that made us feel small is now coming out in the open. And we are burying something here now. We are leaving that burden behind us. We don't need to have that with us no more. Okay? Okay, let's just, okay. 31, 34, sorry. Occupation. So what is it that, we should really work with this? Back to Capricorn and Saturn energies, about life purpose, status, job, career. This is about what we need to do. We need to focus on this. We need to work with this, okay? This is just as important as we are moving out, doing our daily jobs, and I'm hearing even more important, okay? Maybe it is the end of this toil and labor feeling whenever we are working with this. This should feel easier to go around because it's a natural part of us. So we are burying all these misunderstandings and feeling shy. We are being private about this. We're saying goodbye to that. We're releasing that and say, you know what, I don't need that anymore. I forgive that, we forgive that people may not have believed us or whatever it is that we need to bury here. And that can be quite individual as well. So we need to occupy ourselves with this. We need to work with this. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? And I'm being led to the bottom card where we have the light. It's called Thief. So very much this is about not allowing people to steal our time, light, or energy, but to keep our focus on the path, to keep moving in the direction that we know is true. Okay, let's just pull one final card. Number 1, male. It is time that we are beginning to be number 1 in our own lives. Okay, and also with the male energy here, it's about taking action on things. So it's about taking action on us putting our foot down, saying, I know something about this. Okay, also we see how there's a lot of light here. There are lamps here. There's a light here from the window. There are lamps over here. And there's a lamp over here. And I feel somehow that this is the sharpest light next to this. So the focus seems to be on occupying ourselves with this. Okay. So let's turn into our mental movements. Let's see what the Greys are advising us to tune into our star brothers. But I feel right now that our star brothers could actually be the Greys, the short ones. And afterwards I will just read a little bit from Lisa Porter's book, who created this beautiful deck. Okay, so let's see how we can move with these energies in our thinking patterns and our mentality, our way of seeing and perceiving things. This card deck I find is brilliant to try to help us move on with this expansion of awareness that I feel that we are, that is the path that we're on right now as a collective in general. Things are opening up, we're beginning to understand, seeing things differently. We have one card out here. Yes, we're definitely in transformation. see if we have... Okay. Let's see what's coming out. Okay. So the first one to come out is this creative expression. Okay, and this card says, creativity is not only a way of expressing your personality and spirit to the outside world, it's also a great way of disconnecting your analytical mind so you can reconnect with the creative, expressive, and intuitive side of your brain. As children, we started our lives by freely using the more creative right side of our brain. As we got older, as a result of schooling and societal conditioning, there was a tendency to pull away from our right side and rely more on the intellectual left side of our brain. Intuition floats in the edge of creativity. So, try doing something creative, such as taking a class where you can practice sketching, drawing, writing, painting, coloring, making pottery, or whatever works for you. Exactly. Back to this toil and labor card, this can also mean that if we want to get in contact with this, we've got to do the work. Back to Saturn, okay? Because if we are not for everyone, there's something here that we need to make use of, okay? That is our responsibility. So, creative expression, back to the central sun, creativity also. With the butterfly here, it's talking about transformation, okay? Talking about transformation, okay? And then we have two other cards as well coming out, and they came out together. So, spirit communication process and soul connection, okay? So this card over here is saying, spirit is your soul essence. It's the spark of the divine in the center of your being. It's the part of you that existed long before you incarnated into this physical form and will continue long after you leave this world. And I feel that's also a reference back to the matrix of it all, okay? It's this very essence that mediums connect with during communication, okay? So, this card is talking about the same energy that makes up the stars in the sky, which is the same energy that's coursing through the universe, the matrix, is in each and every one of us. We're all made of the same energy, and as souls, we're always connected to everything and each other. It's not always easy to see others or ourselves as a soul or a spiritual being. We are often too caught up living in the physical world and forget our very own divine nature. Okay, so it's in process. We are communicating now. We are coming much more into this, and it's connecting with us on a soul level back to the water. Okay, so I feel that this is very much sun and the water communication here also going on. Okay, so very, very interesting, but going back to that childlike curiosity or childlike joy is really about that. Also, when I began the reading, I said something about humor, right? Using our humor, this is supposed to be fun. And when we laugh and we smile, we just make things much easier, you know? It's much easier to understand what's going on when we loosen up and we smile and we try to sense, you know, okay, what's going on, and we start to ask questions and we're just curious, right? And we start to play like we did when we were kids. And when you start to play as an adult, many other adults who do not play will look at you with like, really? Are you serious? And yes, I'm actually dead serious about this. Okay? I don't know what to call it, I've pledged my life to this. I have given a lot of time in my life to this. And that also includes perhaps sometimes living a little bit isolated. Because when you start this journey, you will also start to find that whatever is not in alignment with this course that you are taking now in your life, it's falling away. Okay, and if you can see that as a great help from the universe, as you tuning into yourself, coming back to the original in yourself, instead of seeing it as a loss and something sad. Of course, it's okay to grieve about that, to letting someone or something go, but then we also have to move on. Then we also have got to look ahead and say, maybe ask questions about it and say, maybe there's something more to this, okay? So when we feel sad, when we felt sad and we felt, sitting there pitying ourselves for like a day or two, it's time to get back on the horse, okay? It's time to start taking charge on all of this and saying, you know what, I'm keeping my course, I know what I'm doing. Yes, it may seem unnormal or childlike or like fantasy like this and imagination like that, but it is exactly for me through our fantasy and our imagination that things start to speak to us. That's the open realm that we have access to, taking a step back from all the analytical thinking. So let's finish up this reading by pulling some astrology cards to see, is there somewhere in our charts that we can look for this energy coming in now to assist us. So please check out your chart. I have left a link down below so that you can easily find your personal, your natal chart. And please, if you have any comments or questions about this, regarding this, please put a comment down below as well, okay? So let's see what's coming out here. Where can we check out these astrological energies coming in for us? And of course, for the collective, I will read this energy in alignment with the planet or the zodiac star sign coming out, or the house card, okay? So in general, for the collective, what is coming out here? Where can we look for some kind of answers? What is this regarding in general? So this is also to give you an idea of how the elements are talking together, how the astrology is talking to cosmos and to us. That can seem to be a link between us and whatever is out there. You can see our telephone when we need to call home. Like the E.T. from 1984, the movie, right? E.T. phone home. And that's really the childlike energy coming in here. I feel emotional about this. And as I mentioned before also, I am working with the astral realm or astral body. And that's perhaps why I am taking the energy down like this. People do it differently. We all work with different areas. So very emotional. It's okay to be very emotional about this, because that's where the deep love is. When we just start to cry, or it's like surrendering. And that's also something that Pisces is working with. Surrender to something that is just higher and bigger than ourselves, okay? Where we just have realized that everything is really just one, and we are all just really interconnected. Okay, a lot of cards are coming out here. Okay, so please bring out a couple of cards. Okay, anything else? Yeah, it's a powerful planet coming out, Pluto, one of the outer energies, outer planets. So it's an outer space energy, yeah, confirmation about that. Rebirth, transformation on a very deep level. Pluto again ruling the 8th house, where we find the energies of Scorpio, magic, Kundalini energy, regeneration, like the sun was talking about. And actually Pluto is also that outer planet that is farthest, I think you say farthest away from the sun. So it's like these are opposites. This is the deepest shadow sides coming out here. This is like deep incarnation patterns coming up being highlighted. The full moon within us, the private side, okay? So we are moving deep into something, the deepest shadow sides perhaps. And then we have the sun on the other side. Creation, coming back into the light. So we are really making deep transformations here as a collective right now. And we are regenerating, we are coming into rebirth. Power, the power of love instead of love of power. I need another card. I feel there's something more here. Now the Pluto is orbiting Neptune. It used to be one of Neptune's moons, but it came out of orbit. So that's why, and actually Pluto is right now in Capricorn, on 29 degrees of that, moving into the next zodiac sign after Capricorn, which is Aquarius, okay? So a reference back to that we are also in the age of Aquarius, and that is about more awareness, seeing things differently, coming into more freedom. So serious energies here. There's really something about here. Yeah, I have a podcast on my website, herlanguage.com, about Pluto in Capricorn. What is it trying to tell us? So that it's like, we need to wrap things up right now. We need to look into the future. Okay, so let me just count, because I can't remember what the 9th planet is. If we don't count Vulcan, which is the planet that is the closest to the sun, but we begin with Mercury. Mercury, Venus, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, the short grace ones, they're pointing to deep transformation, coming out of the shadow sides, coming out of being misunderstood and shy and can't, feeling too private to talk about this. And that also means that then we cannot get the job done. If we feel like that, it means that we're holding ourselves back, and now it's time to come out of that. Something new is being ignited here within us that will make us feel emotional. But when we are completely honest, then we are completely honest, and then we speak the truth. And if that's about getting emotional, that's part of the truth. We have been living in a capitalistic world for a long time, having only focused on the physical world, physical 3D world. Okay, now it's time to include something else, starting to live with that, okay? And I'm very excited about this Celtic mother here, coming back to the womb of it all. Wow. Okay, so let's see if we can have another astrology card out, if there's something more. So Pluto is the planet that you want to look for in your personal chart. What zodiac signs? Let's see what's coming out here before I say anything else. Okay, and the 10th house, as I mentioned, Capricorn energies, Saturn, 10th house, life purpose, challenges that we pick up on, where we do the work because we want to get wiser or become wiser creatures. We want to know more. So look for Pluto in your chart, the house it's in, and the zodiac sign that is surrounding it. That would tell you something about where you are showing up with great transformation regarding these energies, of course, okay? Or look into your 10th house. Where is it that, the 10th house, get the job done. I feel this is underlining. I feel definitely that Pluto is the most significant energy here. This is just the underlining of that, of Pluto's position right now in Capricorn, meeting Saturn. It's about also restrictions and regulations and laws, and who is deciding for whom, or taking charge, we need to step into our own power, become the number one in our own lives. Have a focus on what your job and career is. Is that bringing this transformation to your life that you want to? Maybe you have a job right now where you can actually live these energies out. Maybe you don't. But we need to have a close look on our life purpose. Asking questions. Am I on the right path? Back to the thief card we had over here as the bottom card. So very, very interesting times right now. We need to get the job done. We need to come back to our creative side, to work with this, to work with on the other, whatever is on the other side, to take this seriously, to come into more, to occupy ourselves with this. And that also means taking time off. Maybe from, you know, a Saturday night you would go and visit your friends. Sometimes say, no, I have to do something else. And that is actually much more important right now. Depending on how your friends, of course, are treating you. How truthful are these relationships? And because it's time now for this spirit communication process to take place, okay? Where we can have this soul connection. So again, these two parties becoming one, melding together. Everything is out in the open now. So that we can regenerate and that we can come out of this with success, which means we are going to survive as a humankind if we want to do this job. And then, of course, something about our island. I really get that a lot, of course. Something with our mother lineage. Of course, for those of you who feel that you are in particular in contact with deceased loved ones, definitely take the energies with you if that resonates. But this is not a reading on connecting with passed on loved ones. Okay, this is about tuning into cosmic energy as going back to Venusian energy or to the Greys, to look more into that, to the Arcturians and Agarthans and, you know, particular groups. And of course our deceased loved ones can be part of that. Of course, when we are leaving the earth, we are moving back to our original space where we came from. So of course, but this is not a reading on that in particular, but if there's something here that resonates with that for you, definitely go with that, okay? So we are very much protected right now. It's like Horus energy, guard energy, plasma energy, like these two cards we're talking about. It's just all energy, okay? And that's also how it's always felt for me, that this is just energy moving around. Do you want to ask why stuff is playing out in your life the way it is? Yes or no? If it's a yes, you will receive some answers. If it's no, you will receive the answers anyway, but maybe you won't be aware of it and you won't be able to make completely use of that. Okay, so let's spend our time very wisely while we are here. Okay, let's start communicate. Okay, so thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm wishing you all the best out there. Thank you for stopping by. Bye for now.